Hello, welcome back to Jimothy Listens. My name is Jimothy, and it is that time again for another weekly roundup of the albums that I've listened to over the past 7 days. I'll give you my thoughts on every new album that I have listened to this past week and, help you sort out the good from the not so good. Although, to be honest, every album this week is, really good. Not even just oh yeah, everything's good. I have 7 things to talk about. They're all really good, outstanding. So, hell yeah. And just a little update before we get started. I have just started a new job, and it's a job. I'm working 8 hours a day, 5 days a week. So things might be a little bit slow, or I might not be listening to as much stuff, or videos might be whatever for a bit. Hopefully, once I kind of settle into a new routine, new schedule, I'll get things back on track. But just giving you a heads up that content from this bitch right here might slow down for a second. But enough about that, let's get on to the music. All I know is yo in them zipper bags. Get my money so heavy, can't lift a bag. First up is the new album from Freddie Gibbs. This was an album that I was super excited for. I just really like Freddie Gibbs, and he has not disappointed me. This album is so good. Freddie Gibbs he's just the man. He is the man. He sounds incredible across this entire album. His raps, his voice, his bars, his deliveries, his energy, everything is just constantly on point. The production is all nice and interesting. Nothing sounds, super basic or boring or whatever. The features all put in work. It has everything that it needs to be a good hip-hop album. And then I also love the extra addition of the hotel stuff and the voicemails and messages across the album as the hotel just kind of starts collapsing and crumbling. I think that just adds a nice little through line to make the whole thing feel a bit more consistent. So yeah, really just an incredible hip-hop album. One of my favorite hip-hop albums of the year. Absolutely. Definitely something you should check out. It's an 8 to 9 out of 10. Okay, I have a confession for you. As much as I claim to be just the art pop bitch, the art pop enjoyer, main consumer of wacky left field pop, I've never actually listened to any Björk before this. I know blasphemy, but it is the case. But after spending basically my whole life hearing about just how good and important her stuff is, I was excited to finally dive into this new album, and yeah, obviously I like it. Obviously it's for me. This album, it's just really pretty and gorgeous. It just sounds exactly how the album cover looks. I could spend 10 minutes trying to describe to you how this album sounds, and I would not do as good a job as if you just looked at the album cover. That's what it sounds like. It's a dark, magical mushroom forest. It's foggy and it's glittery and it's a little bit alien, and on the whole it's just very pretty. I love the strong use of woodwind instruments clarinets and oboes and stuff, as well as some really grand string sections to give it a big orchestral feel, as well as some nice just pounding electronics in there occasionally. There are some songs that really reach almost hardcore climaxes. It's really cool. Björk's voice is enchanting. The whole thing is just, magical, wonderful. 8 out of 10. Sudan Archives is an artist that I've heard really only a little bit from in the past, but I just dove into this album because I'd heard some good things about it. And it's super cool. It's super nice. Just a really fun and interesting kind of R&B, neo-soul-y, kind of mixed in with some hip-hop in there. There's a lot of really cool production and song structure moments, a lot of great vocal performances, a lot of very cool raps, and all with its own personality and really a unique flavor to it. My only thing is that it's maybe a little bit long, but when it's delivering good stuff constantly, I don't really mind that much. This is really just absolutely one of my favorite R&B releases so far this year. I'm super into it. It's a 8 out of 10. Another gorgeous R&B album right off the back of the last one. This new Ari Lennox album is more just like straight R&B, and it's really pretty. As someone who doesn't really appreciate a lot of the like modern R&B, I find a lot of it to be quite just like flat and kind of uninteresting. This is super lush and dense and gorgeous. Ari's voice is phenomenal. The songs are interesting. I think her lyrics are done really well. I don't really have too much more to say about it, but it is just like a gorgeous R&B album that's definitely worth a listen. It's like a 7 to 8 out of 10. The Comet is Coming is a cool band that kind of meshes like electronic and dance music with jazz. It's a very cool fusion, and this album is just super spacey and vibrant and colorful. It features these, really strong electronic basses, and then just has gorgeous sax lines floating over the top to make it feel very just out of this world and alien, as well as some really cool like jazz drum rhythms and stuff to just add in a bit of an extra flair where you wouldn't normally be hearing that in sort of electronic stuff. It's a super unique feel. It's a very cool feel. It's a very colorful and bright and vibrant feel. This album is very much kind of like a experience that like takes you on a trip to the stars. I don't know what I'm saying. That sounds really cliche, but it is that. It's definitely an album that you could find merit in both kind of just like laying back and letting it wash over you, or like really listening intently and getting into the nitty gritty of the details, because there's a lot there as well. It's super cool, super unique, not something I've really heard before, and yeah, I'm into it. It's an 8 out of 10. Red Velvet SEULGI has made her solo debut, and I have filmed a reaction to this. I don't think it'll be up, but when this video goes up, but it will be soon. When it is, I'll link it in the description. But to give you just a quick rundown on my thoughts, I really, really like this album. I think it has a super consistent feel. I love the really strong concept that it has the whole way through, not just in terms of the like story and kind of the content of the songs, but also the sound having a lot of dark, thick electronic elements, and also the way that it kind of crescendos as the album goes on, and the last few tracks are kind of a lot bigger and more expansive than the ones at the start. I think SEULGI really shines. Her voice and her personality and her character is incredible. She absolutely holds her own in these songs where I think a lot of other singers would get swallowed up by the huge production. It's really an impressive solo debut, and I'm really into it. It's like I can't remember what I gave it. Whatever I said in my reaction is my official score, but I can't remember. It's like a 7. Yeah, good. And finally, we come to this new Stray Kids album. Once again, I have filmed a reaction. Once again, I don't think it'll be up yet, but when it is, linky in the description. But yeah, this album, I know that I say I'm not much of a boy group stan. I feel like I might be coming to an end. This is easily the best boy group album I have ever heard. It's so good. It's so tasty and delicious. What stopped me from really getting into Stray Kids stuff in the past is that as much as I love the kind of big, noisy, electronic, over-the-top stuff, is that it's felt very kind of like serious and like trying way too hard to be cool. But this album, because the concept it comes with is kind of like, it's like love songs and it's a bit brighter. It means that while it still has that really thick and heavy sound, it has so much just like color and fun and joy infused into it as well, which just makes it incredible to listen to. And especially there is one B-side that literally just left me speechless and broke me. So, wait for that in the reaction video when it comes. But yeah, this album, it's like an 8 out of 10. It's so good. I love it. And that brings us to the end of this week's albums. What do you think of any of these? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, like, subscribe, woo. And I will see you next time, hopefully next week. Hopefully I've listened to more new albums in the meantime. I still have to get through everything from the end of September to put out my albums worth hearing from September. Oh my God, it's a lot. It's a lot at the moment, but we'll get there. Anyway, I'm done. We go. What? Bye. Love you.